Hi, I'm Eric Liittschwager, the host of Quick Chop Show, and today we're doing a new episode on soup, and today we're doing a mushroom soup. Stick around, hope you like it. Quick Chop is provided by Mission Grocery Outlet in San Francisco. I love making soups, and one of the easiest soups to make is a mushroom soup. There's really few components to it. You can dress it up a little bit if you like, but it's really just a few simple ingredients that go into making this. What I am adding though today is I picked up these mushroom powders. They're all organic. Mushroom powders have been really vogue lately, getting in there because they have a lot of health qualities. These are dried and milled down, and they add a little extra component to our soup today. I'm gonna be putting that in, and I'll show you how that goes. First thing is, we're just gonna start with some onion. We're just gonna saute a little of that. Our ingredients are yellow onions, butter, brown cremini mushrooms, a little cilantro, crème fraîche, and a little bit of green onion as well, and white wine. And again, the powders I mentioned. Okay, so today, I'm not making a huge pot of soup here. I'm just making it really enough for 2 people. I don't want a lot of onion, so probably even a quarter of that is gonna be just fine. We don't wanna really make a onion mushroom soup. We're making a mushroom soup, but we do want some onion in there. Again, I'm just gonna peel that quarter back, take a few slices that way. I'll take my little diagonal cut down. I want this fairly finely chopped because we're gonna be throwing it in the blender. That's all our waste. Now, when we're doing our onions, we don't want them to brown. So just a little bit of that butter in there. And that's gonna be fine. You know, when I'm cooking, I always have this jar of water sitting on the counter. I throw my wood spatulas in there. If you use wood spatulas, soak them in water first, and they'll impregnate with water when you're cooking, and they won't stain as quickly or as badly. And also starches tend not to stick as much if they're wet beforehand. So it's always good just to keep that and rinsing your spoons. A little bit of salt. Low heat. Again, we don't want that to burn. I'm just slicing these up. I sometimes take off that final piece when they're coming out of the mushroomière, just to clean it up a little bit. I'm checking for any soil residue that will be on the mushrooms. These are really clean, which is great. If they're looking clean, then I don't mess with them. Don't rinse them off. If you got a little debris on there, just get a mushroom brush or a inexpensive paintbrush, large house painting brush, and then just brush them off. See, like that on there. A little bit of dirt there, so I'll just trim that off. But you can also just, like I said, just brush it off, it's fine. Okay, add those. And those onions are just getting translucent on the back. And we're just gonna cook these up just a little bit. We'll go ahead and add a couple more. That's just going to be for a dress. And a little bit of white wine. You know, it's always fun to be a little ceremonious about opening wine bottles, but I've opened so many thousands of bottles. I just rip the cork out as quick as I can. About, maybe about 20 milliliters of white wine in there. Dry, preferably. This is a Chardonnay, nice Chardonnay from the North Coast. I picked it up at Grocery Outlet, love the label. Sometimes I'm just like anybody else. I'm gonna buy wine because I like the label. North Coast, really good price. Yeah, decent wine. It smells great. Definitely Chardonnay. A little residual sugar on there. It's nice. A little black pepper in there. Not too much. Now on the back burner here, I've got a little bit of chicken stock warming up because we're gonna now incorporate that in. But before I do that, so now I'm gonna add my mushroom powders that I bought. Not too much, little goes a long way with these guys. So like a quarter to a half teaspoon of each one of these. They're gonna add a little bit of complexity. Nice thing about these is you can add these other flavors of mushroom into your soup with mushrooms that may not be seasonally available for you. Okay, now I'm gonna in with just waiting for that to finish up. Not overcooking it. We really just kind of bring it to a simmer for a few minutes, ensuring that the mushrooms have cooked through. Everything looks copacetic there. So now I'm just gonna transfer it to the blender here. Important not to overfill your blender. Halfway is about the extreme for doing hot soups. It builds up a lot of pressure when you hit that button. All right, so I got the lid on. Now, really important, cover this thing up. I have one that even has a hole on it. Cover that up with a towel, and you're gonna put a lot of weight on there to make sure that that lid doesn't come off when you hit that. Getting a face full of hot soup, because that'll blow that lid off the second I do it. So I always pulse it a little first. And I'm putting a lot of pressure on that lid. Just pulsing it a little bit. That soup's coming up right through that hole too. Looks thoroughly blended. I don't see any chunks floating around in there. Now I'm just transferring this back in to my saucepan. Now, you can do this a couple of different ways with the crème fraîche. Sometimes it's nice just to put a dollop into the bowl and let your friends or whoever kind of stir it in. Kind of cool. But for today, I'm just gonna mix it in. I'm adding a pretty good tablespoon there. I'll do 2. And this is just gonna give it a nice creaminess. And just incorporating that. Now it's looking nice and luxurious. Crème fraîche is all incorporated in there. When you're ladling soup like that into a bowl, that's the way I like to do it, is just put the ladle into the bottom of the bowl and then just let it ease out. It's got that really earthy smell to it from those mushrooms and the powders. They really add a nice element to this. And just dress that with a little bit of chopped green onion and some cilantro. There you go. That's a really simple recipe for mushroom soup. About 20 minutes beginning to end, very few ingredients involved. And you can do all kinds of little variations on this as well. And don't forget to follow us on newsupnow.org, Instagram, Quick Chop Show, YouTube. We're on the Mission Grocery Outlet page. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.